past, present, and our future military pilots. The GEICO SkyTypers inbound now. Not one, not two, but 6 aircraft. Beautiful formation flying now. Watch overhead now as the GEICO SkyTypers enter the Airshow airspace using an overhead tactical approach. Military pilots going into a hot area use this type of approach in a hostile environment to assess the situation on the ground. They will remain Notice how the flight lead maintains control of this 6-ship formation as each member demonstrates sharpened skill levels to hold its position throughout the maneuvers. Watch now as the 2 solos who just stood from the full formation introduce you to a 3-dimensional maneuver, the lead turn guns pass. When 2 aircraft of similar capability meet head-on, the first aircraft to initiate a turn towards the opposing aircraft gains an advantage by getting behind and into a firing position to achieve a win. It takes knowledge of geometry and physics to know how aircraft to accomplish this. Now watch as the lead solo maneuvers his aircraft in a lead turn and ends up in a 6 o'clock guns position behind his opponent, the wing solo. Head-on encounters may be handled differently depending on the situation. The opponent can meet as close as possible to avoid a turning advantage, or there may be an option to blow through in order to regain energy to fight or offer the chance to escape. Watch now as the 2-ship returns from the right to engage the 4-ship from the left. With a closure rate of more than 320 miles an hour, the 2-ship must outweigh the odds of turning to fight. As the 4-ship formation turns away, watch from the left as the solos escape and quickly change their minds and decide to pitch back into the fight. A stack vector command is called in order to quickly return to the encounter. Now watch the solos perform a search for the 4-ship formation. As the solos get a tally or a visual, turning towards the 4-ship formation. And the solos have discovered much more than expected. The Delta has switched to a line abreast, as we call it, a wall of SNJs. This formation is the same flight position used for the team's SkyTypes messages. On command from the leaders, the SkyTypers now will execute a 90-degree right turn and shift into trail formation. Once in trail, they must regroup into a more effective formation in order to continue their mission. These aircraft weigh about 5,500 pounds. They use a 600 horsepower supercharged 9-cylinder radial engine, the Pratt & Whitney R1340. Look straight ahead now as the solos approach in a common air-to-air training scenario. The two solos start by flying next to each other and split apart at the same time. Fights on is called, and the solos respond by turning back towards one another. This tests the pilot's skill and avoids the chance of creating an advantage going into a head-on pass. Fighter pilots call this maneuver you see now the merge. Watch now as the solos pitch into each other and turn one circle flight. The wing solo has more energy, causing the lead solo to turn away too soon. It appears an advantage is developing here. As the wing solo maneuvers to take a shot, the lead solo is forced to fly in an unpredictable path in order to reverse, escape, or face the possibility of getting shot down. This is called a guns jink. Forward air controller aircraft, also called BACs, have approached the area and they have confirmed there is enemy equipment on the ground. 4 aircraft are called into straight. Look to your left now as the flight of 4 aircraft approaches the enemy target in an echelon formation. This formation is often seen in wartime movies and documentaries. The aircraft will roll in a high-angle strafe to fire on the targets below. Watch as each aircraft abruptly pulls up to evade enemy gunfire, with the possibility of getting hit by airborne fragments. Strafing for the GEICO SkyTypers today. In the lead, Larry Arkin with Steve Kapoor, Chris Orr, Ken Johansson, and Bob Johansson. Solos approach from behind, they're going to demonstrate another type of intercept called a pincer, which resembles the open claw of a lobster. Overhead, the solos have detected a group of threatening aircraft intending to attack the target area. The solos will maneuver to gain an advantage on the other craft by splitting up. The solo pilots today, lead solo Steve Salmiers and wing solo Tom Daly. Watch now as the diamond approaches to successfully avoid the pincer. Ladies and gentlemen, the GEICO SkyTypers bomb burst. With the air-to-air threat neutralized, the bombers can now approach and destroy the remaining enemy assets on the ground. Look straight ahead as the Solos return to finish the job. Watch closely as the Solos continue to alter their position in order to remain unpredictable and to fly under radar coverage. Solos will once again pop up to surprise the enemy on the ground and deliver their ordnance. As the team prepares for its next coordinated maneuver, the GEICO SkyTypers would like to invite you to learn a little bit more about their sponsor. GEICO can assist you with all of your insurance needs. During its 78-year history, GEICO has received a long list of diverse honors, awards, and customer testimonials for their impressive service to 12 million private passenger customers and 20 million vehicles. GEICO's focus and care of the people can be seen in every aspect of its operation. Look straight ahead and see what the Solos and the Diamond have in store for us now. As the Solos go into the sky, the Diamond will transition into a vertical diamond. Now watch as the vertical diamond flies through the center of the heart drawn by the Solos. For a special pass, the GEICO SkyTypers would like to recognize the men responsible for keeping these vintage aircraft in such fine shape. The aircraft technicians are Keith Urso, Frank Atria, Stan Ruth, and Greg Coons. We'd also like to recognize another key member of our team, Advanced Pilot and Ground Operations Officer Jim Record. If you'd like to see photos, videos, or simply get more information on the team, please follow them on Facebook and Twitter under GEICO SkyTypers, or visit the team's website at GEICOSkyTypers.com. In addition, check out their YouTube channel for some great videos, including the In Formation webisode series. These webisodes provide an insider's look at life as an airshow performer. You can also find links to our associate sponsors, Gulf Coast Avionics and Tulsa Aircraft Engines. Together as a team and now in a single Delta formation, the GEICO SkyTypers would like to dedicate their next maneuver to the men and women in our armed services and all those who support the United States military. Their signature maneuver, and absolutely my favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to watch now as they approach head-on for the GEICO SkyTypers Fan Pass. Gentlemen, as the GEICO SkyTypers show you how all military aircraft, including the military performance jet teams, rejoin into a single formation. The SkyTypers will perform another 90-degree turn to set up for their rejoin to a Delta formation. As the lead starts to turn and smokes for identification, the other aircraft add power to put their noses in front of the lead in order to fly a shorter distance. Each pilot must be aware of the position of all the aircraft so they can rejoin as quickly and as safely as possible. The flight leader is the forwardmost member of the formation and is responsible for the direction and the integrity of the entire flight. The wingmen must maintain their respective positions while constantly referencing the flight. The majority of the pilots on the team earn their military training in the Air Force, Navy, and the Marines. Many became commercial airline pilots after completing their military service. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, something a little different and something that we've never done at an air show before, and I'm talking about the GEICO SkyTypers that said, we want to race Bill Brock in the jet car. Smoke and Thunder brought to you this weekend by EVO Motors, who the jet car consumes nearly 3 gallons of fuel every second. The EVO Motors is an American-made, highly efficient, low-cost vehicle designed to be safe, ultra-efficient, and uses existing automotive technology to achieve 84 miles per gallon on the highway, all at an unheard price of just $6,800. Here they come in, ladies and gentlemen, from the right. They put up a challenge. They said, we can beat Bill Brock in his jet car. Power. 34 jet engine originally used in the North American Buckeye aircraft. Check this out. 120,000 horsepower, 6,500 pounds with afterburner. Tires are only 15 inches in diameter. In the front, they're 5 inches wide, but in the rear, they're 10 inches wide. Only weighs 2,300 pounds. Check this out. 35 gallons of fuel used in each run. But more importantly, 0 to 400 miles an hour in approximately 9 seconds. We have a Georgia Highway Patrolman down at the end of the runway with a radar gun to let us know just how fast Bill Brock can make the Smoke and Thunder jet car go. And like I said, GEICO SkyTypers are going to race him. They've got a heads up because they're already traveling at about 160 or 70 miles an hour. Bill Brock has to start from a dead standstill and try to beat these GEICO SkyTypers. We'll get the word from the Highway Patrol just as soon as he crosses the finish line. Here they come, down low. Larry Ark in the lead, adding more power now. 600 horsepower pulling those S&Js through the air. Stand by because we're almost ready to start here. Bill Brock in the jet car winding it up. The flagman is up and Bill goes to afterburner. Let's see who's going to win this race. Now here comes Bill Brock streaming down the runway. I think GEICO got him. I think GEICO got him. Like I said, they had a head start. Okay, from down there, they've just notified George Klein, our air boss, that his run ended up, of course he has to pull those 3-ring parachutes, 347 miles an hour. 347. And if you think that's fast, you've obviously never seen my wife out on I-75. Bill Brock in the Smoke and Thunder jet car. Like I said, the amount of fuel just consumed by the jet car would take EVO, the car, from Rome, Georgia to Vancouver, British Columbia, and then on to Portland, down to Portland. That's 3,000 miles. So the EVO car, just the fuel that he burned, could go all the way to Portland, Oregon. The cockpits of the jet car and the EVO are more like that of a fighter cockpit. EVO will be manufactured in Shreveport, Louisiana by hardworking Americans. And EVO, a car for the American commuter. EVO is fun to drive.